fellow reality and self-seekers. Today we are doing what is truly trendy, which is searching for yourself, healing yourself, and, well, being yourself. But to truly be yourself, you gotta kind of get through all that gunk from, childhood, past, trauma, heartbreak, disappointments, betrayals, blah, 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 blah. All that, well, lively stuff. So today I want to take some time to do some really, really in-depth readings for all of you. So you can, get some insight, maybe some new perspective. So I would say approach this reading with full-on openness, okay? Because sometimes the things we have to heal are not the things we want to hear. So try to take it with a bit of distance, try to reflect on that, try to really soak it in, I have a super cute witch hat today on, if you can see. Let me put on like some different music so I can focus, because I had like a bit of energetic music. Alright, this hat really is powering me today. Looks so witchy. Okay, so in a minute, you're gonna see on the screen all the groups we have. So it's really important that you approach it really intuitively and just pick the pie that you're the most drawn to. How you can do it is you can ask yourself in your mind, what do I need to heal? How can I move forward in my life in a more healthier direction? How can I be more of myself? What do I need to heal? Questions like that, whatever most resonates with you. And then just open your eyes, and the first group your eyes land on is gonna be the pie for you. Or maybe you feel attracted to the group in specific from the visuals. That's fine too, go for it. So let's go ahead. All the timestamps are gonna be in the descriptions down below or in the comments, so enjoy! Hello, group number 1. So let me pick a card deck for you, or rather card decks, because for every group I'm gonna be picking individual decks, because I think it's really important, because decks have their own personalities, and so do you, right? So, or I hope at least. So let's go. Let's see. I'm definitely gonna go with Vintage Wisdom Oracle for you, and group number 1, you're gonna get my favorite Primordial Tarot. And let's see. Oh yes, Rose Oracle speaks to me, and we're gonna of course pull some Nicoletta Secolo Tarot, because dude, I love this deck. Like, I just love it. So let's go, group number 1. Are you scared? Are you scared? Because I am. Okay, what does group number 1 needs to heal from? What does group number 1 needs to heal from? Ooh, we have harmony. By the way, the phone just rang right now. I had to wait it out, but let's take it as a sign that there's a calling. Maybe you have, maybe you have a calling, group number 1. Maybe there's a calling. Let's go, let's go. We have release. Okay, so group number 1, there's obviously something that needs balancing out in your life right now. There might be a possibility that you're dealing with certain imbalances also in your physical body, because I feel like harmony has a lot to do with, things being well together. So maybe you might be dealing with hormonal imbalances. So that's something worth checking with, especially if you're dealing with a lot of stress at the moment or over similar stuff. But other than that, I feel like the most important thing you need to do right now, like the one that just goes right on the surface, is releasing something. Like, I feel like that you have a very big build up of something, and it needs to be released. It might be something from the past or emotions you might be having, but we're gonna get to it. Hey, girl, boy, they, them. We're gonna get to the bottom of this to bring you as much clarity as we can. Let's go with my favorite Primordial Tarot. Dude, I love this deck. It's making me so happy.
2,000 years later.
Ooh, we have 5 of blood. We have Magician. Whoa, okay. And we have a Woman of blood, Woman of swords. Okay, so what I'm getting intuitively, like, right off, is that you're in survival mode. So, many of you might be dealing with being in survival mode, meaning exactly hormonal imbalances, cortisol levels high in the body, stuff like that. Really important to look out for it, because I feel like many of us don't really realize how important watching out on stress levels in life is. I mean, so many people, so many of us are you just living through life in extreme amounts of stress, and we completely miss out on the fact that stress and cortisol levels and or hormones, they are affecting us so much physically. I mean, hormones is just like a whole system in the body, like if you mess it up, you might be dealing like especially with mood swings, for example, so group number one, I really recommend you to look at your stress levels, especially if you went through something traumatic, especially recently. But generally, I feel like group number one, you're dealing with being in survival mode, meaning living on high alert, being like what's next, who's up to get me, what's the danger, yada yada yada, so it's really important that you look out for it, and you get out of it, which is gonna be hard. I mean, it's a no joke concept. Group number one, the survival zone. I mean, personally, I've been in survival zone for a lot of years, and especially in recent years, and it took me right now about 7 months to balance myself out and get out of that, because it's so scary when you're living the life on a fear mode, when everything is scary, everything is filling you up with fear or despair or unmotivation, or like you're in emotional, physical, or any kind of danger. I mean that's messed up, right? I mean, who wants to live like that, right? But group number one, I promise you, once you get out of it, you're gonna feel like a brand new person, and you deserve that. You deserve that, so what that tells me also is that because you're in survival mode, there's a big paralysis in you. A lot of people that are in survival mode and like are on that high alert, they feel a bit more paralyzed in life, a bit, watching your moves, because if you feel in danger, it's easy to have to all the time, watch your moves and stuff. Sorry guys, I had to check my camera because I had a situation once where I recorded and then the video came out like in 16 FPS, which is crazy and basically unfixable. So I just had to make sure. Anyway, coming back, basically because you're in a paralysis, you have like limited amounts of space and movement in your own life, and that might be really limiting on you, so because when you're in danger, it's really hard to make moves confidently or in full freedom, because you're all the time looking out for the danger, right? So it's no wonder if group number one, you feel a bit paralyzed in your life, or you feel a bit unmotivated, or stressed all the time, or pressured, and stuff like that. It can be really really hard. So really make sure that you're looking out for it, because I feel like group number one, you have a lot of potential, and you want to do things, and you have plans, and you have ambitions, and you want to live your life a specific way, and you have that initiative. But first of all, you have to be in that harmony. I feel like many of you, the one thing you really want the most right now is just to be at peace, just to enjoy a moment, just to be at peace, not have to worry about anything, not have to be in a constant restriction with yourself. Another thing group number one is crazy, especially with all of those cards, is that you're also waiting for a good opportunity. You're waiting and waiting and waiting, and there's this big stagnancy and paralysis in your life. It's like you're paralyzed. It's like even if you want to move, like you cannot, you don't want to, and you don't feel inspired to. You don't feel that drive or push, or like you're waiting for a perfect moment. But group number one, there will never be a perfect moment. I mean, you probably heard it like millions of times, but here I am to remind you again. There will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a perfect circumstance. You will never feel like it. You will never feel like you're ready enough. It will just never happen, group number one. So you either go out of it and do it, or you don't do it at all, because there's no trying, there's no waiting. You either do it or you don't. So here I am to give you your wake-up call. Start living. Like not even doing things, just start living. fellow, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? There's nothing to wait for. Life is happening here, right now, and you either live it or you don't. You will never be in that position. Never. Take your opportunities right now. Your opportunities right now, because you know what? You can. You can do it. You don't need perfectionism. You don't need the perfect this or perfect that. You don't need a perfect time. You don't need to be perfect, look perfect. You don't need to have perfect equipment. You don't need to have a perfect day, perfect weather. That will not happen simply. There will never be a perfect circumstance. I really love that Dominic Toretto quote. You know, if you want to have a perfect moment, just create a perfect moment, or however it goes. Doesn't matter. But point is the same. Don't wait. Don't be a perfectionist. Don't be a perfectionist. I'm one. I don't recommend. No, just no. Don't do it to yourself. That's like self-harm. That's like torture. That's like restricting your life force and then wondering why don't you feel alive. Like, anyway, group number 1. Let's pull you out another card because I'm really curious. What else do we have to know for group number 1, healing? What is it about healing themselves right now? Ooh. That happens. We have 9 of nature, we have 8 of cups, and we have 8 of blood. Okay, group number 1. So another thing I'm getting here is that you're making it harder for yourself. Whatever it is you're struggling with in your life right now, you are genuinely making it harder for yourself than it has to be, honestly. Why? Well, because you keep doing things that simply don't work for you. Maybe it is your relationship with yourself, maybe it is your relationship to other people, maybe it is relationship to life generally, maybe it is your mindset towards life, how you deal with emotions, how you deal with anything really. But it simply doesn't work anymore. It simply doesn't work. Like all those methods that you used to have, like coping, survival skills, they don't work anymore, and they create for you more struggle and more challenge than it really has to be. Maybe perhaps you don't need in life anymore to survive. Maybe you don't need to defend yourself anymore in your life. Maybe you don't need to be passive aggressive towards everything. Maybe you don't have to be even aggressive at all. Maybe there's no one there to get you. Maybe there's nothing actually happening against you rather than yourself. And all those things you used to do to cope, to survive, your way of communicating with others, with yourself, maybe self-criticism, maybe any form of self-hatred or self-harm, escapism or codependency, all the stuff used to work, but they simply don't anymore. And by doing them, you don't do anything but harm yourself. And especially with this 9 of nature here, it talks about self-sufficiency. So I feel like some of you might have maybe issues with codependency, maybe emotional codependency, especially if you used to survive as an empath and read over people's emotions in order to survive and so on. You don't need that anymore. Either way, this card talks about self-sufficiency, so make sure that you're self-sufficient, because no one is gonna be there to save you. You gotta be kind to yourself, you gotta be loving to yourself, you gotta give yourself the healing you need. So ask yourself, are you self-sufficient in your healing? Can you heal yourself? Can you create happiness for yourself? Can you do decisions for yourself that bring you to a better place in life? Or do you depend on life to do it for you? Or do you depend on other people to do it for you? Or do you depend on substances to do it for you? And so on and so on and so on. You gotta be self-sufficient. Are you self-sufficient? That's a question you gotta ask yourself. Yeah, just don't do what doesn't work anymore. It truly work. Escapism will never work, and self-hatred will never work, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So make sure you're not making life harder for yourself, simply. So I feel like my interpretation of those cards after what we pulled would be like, basically, you have to release the trauma and look at life in a fresh new perspective where you see things clearly as what they are, and not through those lenses and filters of trauma that might not be there exactly in all the situations, or not in the way that it needs to be. Life will never be perfect, circumstances will never be perfect. Relationships will never be completely perfect, but that doesn't mean it's a tragedy, or it doesn't mean that, you know, you have to be in survival and be like, oh no, am I gonna die? Like, no, you're not gonna die. Like, come on, come on, you're not gonna die. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You are fine. Okay? So release it. Look at reality. Okay? Everything is fine. Nothing is happening to you. If anything, you're the only one who's hurting yourself. You have a choice to walk away. You have a choice to put boundaries on. You have a choice to make your own decisions. You're an adult. Okay? So, make peace with how reality really is. And then you have to balance out, harmonize yourself, put yourself at peace, balance out your body, your hormones, your mind, you know, your thoughts, your overthinking in some of your cases. Okay? So, let's move forward, because I feel like there's a lot to do with emotions. So I feel like that deck was a really good choice. So, group number 1. Let's see what's going on. I'm already scared. Let me get a sip of my tea, cause it's always getting cold, and I don't like drinking cold tea. I love that cup, by the way. I just got it, and I am in love. Like, can we just appreciate simple things in life, like having a very, very pretty aesthetic cup? Because I always wanted those ceramic cups, and this one just was very right at the shop, and I was like, I gotta get it. It's black tea, by the way, because I need some wakey. It's like 3 p.m. here. Anyway, let's see. I'm already a bit in suspense mode, because those cards are really good for trauma work. Group number 1. Let's see, group number 1. 9 of Swords. That is life and fear, my dear. That is life and fear. That is like literally life and hideout. Like, what are you so scared of? What are you so scared of? Like, there's legitimately nothing to be scared of. Yeah, I get it. Yada yada. There is this and there is that. But is it really something to be scared of? Do you really have to run away from your life because of that? Do you? Okay, let's keep going. Group number 1. What else is with group number 1? Ooh, we have 3 of coins. Influences. Okay. And we have 2 of wands. Look at that. That's just so interesting. Whoa. Okay, so that is a very clear message that you are looking at appearances and not at actual reality. Just because something looks like something doesn't mean it is. Like, yeah, there might be many things that might remind you of past, many things that might remind you of trauma, that might resemble it, many situations, emotions, people, but that doesn't mean that there's something happening to you and you have to escape, or you have to isolate, or you have to this or that or this, you know, whatever self-destructive behavior you're displaying, you know? Like, just because it looks like it doesn't mean it is. Second of all, with that card, I got a strong feeling that you're influencing yourself in very negative ways, like be it social media, be it the things you watch on daily basis, the things you do on daily basis, the things you feel on daily basis, because have in mind, emotions are addictions. Our body is literally addicted to feelings. So if you're feeling stressed every day, your body is going to be addicted to that. Basically, the cortisol levels are going to go above the limits, and then they're going to stay there. And then even if there's no stress and it starts lowering down, the body, the mind is going to find a way to rise it up to the normal levels, you know, back on. So if you don't balance those things out, your body is going to keep being addicted and try to figure out a way to rise up those levels, be it stress, be it sadness, be it depression, be it unmotivation, be it anger, whatever it is for you. Either way, don't feed your brain with it. And I feel like it's so easy, especially in this age with TikTok, you know, and stuff like that feed it to you, and you don't even have time to choose it or decide if you want to engage in that, you know. So I would say, you know, So I would say limit your the time you spend on social media. Limit or your influences, or and really review it. Really look at what you're consuming every day, literally, because what you're feeding your brain is what is gonna be there on most of the time. Also what people you listen to, what your friends say, what kind of influences are in your life. This is really 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 important right now, group number one, because I feel like it's really hard to get out of how our life is looking like, especially if it's not the healthiest, if we keep feeding ourselves the same and the same and the same material that basically reaffirms us in our self-destruction and in our lack of healing and in why we don't want to heal. Like, we romanticize it. We romanticize suffering, we romanticize being a victim, we romanticize heartbreak, we romanticize stress, we romanticize this and that. Maybe you're addicted to complaining, maybe you're addicted to suffering inside of yourself. There might be a lot of things, but point being, if you really truly want to heal, group number one, you have to make a decision, simply. And you either cut all of it out and you stop romanticizing it, and you stop enjoying the suffering and enjoying your trauma, basically, and contributing to it in that way. Then you don't really even give yourself a chance, honestly. It's that simple. It's that simple. Second of all, especially with this two of ones here, it shows me clearly that you're very very for some of you, trauma may be a very big part of your identity. I will give you an example. It's just an example, but it's an example I really like giving. For example, you were hurt, and when you decided you don't want to be with people anymore, you decided you would cut it off. Friendships, romantic, whatever, doesn't matter. And then basically you started idealizing and romanticizing the idea of being a loner, and being alone and not needing people and being mysterious, and it goes on and on and on. And then before you realize, you romanticize this whole idea based on trauma, and now it's a part of your identity, and you feel very comfortable with that, and you're feeding your ego, and your ego is super happy because it doesn't have to deal with all those uncomfortable feelings and healing. And it's happy, you're happy, but truly you're just comfortable and you're in a cage. So that's an example. So really review influences, review your personality, your identity, what you're basing your identity on. Really look twice at your TikTok page or similar social media pages, and really, what beliefs are you feeding yourself? What beliefs you're embodying on a daily basis? Because this is really huge. Okay, I feel like that was enough for this reading with the heavy stuff. Let me give you some oracle cards, because they're always so sweet and nice, and especially this one. It's Rose Oracle, super sweet, super feminine energy, gentle, So let's go, group number one. About your healing. What do we need to know about your healing? Ooh. Rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. I feel like that is such a beautiful card, and it fits so well with your reading, group number one, because it basically talks about you having to drop your defenses. Otherwise you're not gonna be able to enjoy your own life. As long as you're having those aggressive defenses within yourself, that survival mode, again, what we talked about, being in the survival mode, having to defend yourself, and so on and so on. As long as you're in this mode, you're basically not giving yourself a chance to enjoy anything, because how are you supposed to live if you're all the time in survival zone? You cannot live. You simply cannot. You're not able to enjoy anything, because let's say you're in a good relationship, and then you basically take it away from yourself by saying, oh, what if this person will hurt me? What if it won't work out? What if I will get betrayed? What if this? What if that? And then months can pass by and you will not even enjoy it. Years can pass by and you will still be in defense mode. You will still be in survival mode. And important thing, group number one, is that no one will ever give you that safety. It doesn't matter how good a relationship, friendship, circumstance, career, life you have. It does not matter until you decide that you're safe and you're ready to enjoy it. As long as you're riding on that, you know fight or flight response, well, it's just the sad truth. Unless you decide it, it's not gonna, work out otherwise, because you're the one who has those thorns. You gotta, you know lower your defenses and start enjoying things. And you do it by basically realizing that you deserve love, and you deserve happiness, and you deserve to be happy in your life, and you deserve to be, most importantly, at peace. And the only person that can truly give it to you is yourself. Maybe that's why there was this card of Nine of Nature that talks about self-sufficiency. It's about understanding for you that you can give it to yourself, and only you. And you cannot codepend on life or over people to give it to you. You gotta make decisions for yourself. You gotta make that life for yourself. And that requires, first of all, to choose that happiness for yourself. To decide, yeah, I'm happy, I deserve peace, and I'm gonna give it to myself. Right? Okay, group number one. I feel like that was a lot to process for you already. So I'm gonna end this reading now. Now, I hope to make more readings like that in the future. So, there hopefully will be a continuation to this, especially that, healing is not linear, and, you need time to process this, you need time to heal this. So really take it in, soak it in, come back to this video when you need it, re-listen to this, think about it, reflect on it. I would say it's really important for me when I make a reading for myself that I take like 3 days at least to think about it, to really process it in myself. So I really hope it brought some clarity. So enjoy your healing process, enjoy your journey on earth, and yeah, maybe we'll see each other, maybe we won't, but have a great day. Bye bye. Hello, my group number 2, welcome in your reading. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick some cards for you, some decks, because for every group I want to pick a separate deck since they have their own personalities. So for you, group number 2, I'm gonna definitely go with the Deviant Moon. I'm gonna go with some Madhouse Tarot, and I'm gonna go with some Angelarium, and we're gonna go with some Night Fairies, because that's what I feel is right for you. Okay, group number 2, let's get started. Let's see, what do we have to know about your healing, about your trauma. It can be a wild ride, as it already was for group number 1. Let's go. So, group number 2, what is it about their healing? Okay. Group number 2. All right, we have the 8 of Swords and the Magician reverse. Okay, so group number 2, we feel paralyzed. We feel like there's no way out of this situation. We feel like we're a bit of stuck. And even if we want to do something, there is something stopping us, right? So I feel like group number 2, you're kind of in a place where, there's a lot of feelings of, like, there's a lot of things stopping you or limiting you, and it's kind of externalized for you, So I feel like group number 2, there's a lot of like excusing, I mean, it might seem hard to swallow for some of you, but I feel like a lot of us have this mindset oftentimes of like blaming things on external circumstances as to why we cannot do something in life, or why we're not a specific way we want to be. And that's just how we are as people, and not judgment, but that's just how it is. Like sometimes we blame our parents for the way we are, sometimes we blame the job market, or sometimes we blame the government, or sometimes we blame our looks, or sometimes we blame or health or mental issues or whatever. I cannot do this because I'm this, or I cannot do this because my parents didn't love me, or blah 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 blah. What we all do it at some point. We do. We sometimes even blame ourselves. We say, oh, I'm just not good enough. I'm just not talented enough. I just yeah, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like group number two, that's kind of a case for you, which is like, there's a lot of like excuses, blame, feeling, but most importantly, group number two, I feel you. There's feelings of feeling stuck, not having enough of resources, not having enough of this or enough of that, and feeling a big incapability to be or do whatever you want to do in your life. So let's get deeper into that. For group number two, we have Five of Swords. Okay. Okay, so with Five of Sword again, there's this feeling of unfairness. Like life isn't fair for you, things aren't fair for you. Like you just basically feel on a very big disadvantage. And obviously, group number two, there might be a reason for that. There might be a justification for that. Obviously, there is obviously a reason why you feel this way. Let's see more into it. And we have a Four of Cups. Nice. Nice. Okay. So, group number two, it seems to me like you just decided life is unfair and you won't do anything with it. That's the energy I'm getting, or at least in some areas, or at least in some feelings. So, I think at the core group number two, there is this issue with apathy towards life. There is this issue of unmotivation, being like, whatever. It's like this. Okay, whatever. I might as well not do anything. Okay, people are like, well, okay, why try it out? Why try it out? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. From the energy I'm feeling, it's pretty valid. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything either. I would be like, yeah, why even do anything? What's the purpose? So, okay, but group number two, let's get honest here for a minute. Because I feel like with this Five of Swords, I feel like we have to kind of figure out who's the real enemy here, because I mean, I don't seem to be harsh, but life is kind of unfair for many people. Maybe not in the ways it is for you, but it is in other ways. No one truly has a perfect life. No one truly has. Life is unfair to anyone. We all experience hurt that we do not deserve. We all experience things that we did not sign ourselves up to. But I feel like the biggest unfairness that there is in your life for you is the fact that you are the first one to take away that chance from yourself to do anything. I mean, if you agree or not, that's up to you, but I feel like that's the biggest unfairness that you're doing to yourself, injustice, deciding that you're not worth it, that your life is not worth it to try at least to do something. And I feel like choosing that apathy towards life or towards yourself, maybe even, that's like the biggest harm you're doing to yourself. So I feel like it's about realizing who's the real enemy in this situation. And honestly, in group number two, I'm feeling like a lot of heavy energy from this reading. Like there's a lot of heaviness, there's a lot of angst, there's a lot of anger, resentment towards life, yourself, others. Obviously it does not define you as a person, but that's just energy. And maybe you're bottling it up. Maybe it has been there, maybe it was and you didn't heal it, you didn't look at it and you just moved on with your life, but it's still there and it still needs to be healed. And it seems to me that you haven't really worked on that. So really decide who's the real enemy. Because I feel like that apathy towards life is like the first enemy to begin with, and deciding that life is not worth it and just wasting it away, wasting away the time, wasting away your energy on things. Maybe you also engage yourself in activities that don't bring anything meaningful in your life. Maybe your diet is trash. Maybe you don't do anything productive in quotes in your time, as in fulfilling. I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about this or that, but basically It seems to me like many of you are just like wasting your potential away, you know. And I know it might sound really cheesy, really cringy. I mean, don't get me wrong, group number 2. I get it. I get how it looks like. You're like, what is that girl talking about? This is, you know, BS. Like, you don't know my life, whatever. You know, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, but could you at least consider? Could you at least consider? Okay, because that's what we're talking here about. Could you at least consider that if you take away that chance of living for yourself, you don't really have any chance at all. Indeed, you know, you're a manifestation of your own belief that you don't have a chance at life. You know, uh, just because other people have more predispositions to do something than you doesn't mean that you cannot attain it. You know. Yeah, the game is rigged. I get it. The game is rigged. We all know that. But why not just have fun with how the game is? Why not just decide, okay, well, game is rigged. Okay, fine. Well, at least I might have fun with it. At least I might, you know, have fun. At least I see it. At least I see that the game is rigged. Okay, it seems to me, group number 2, that many of you are really deep in that mindset. Like, I just feel it. So let's move on to the next card. I'm not gonna try to convince you. No, I'm not. You know, the change has to come from someone. You cannot make someone change. So let's see. We have this Madhouse Tarot here, which is about mental illnesses, kind of. Which, yeah, I was drawn to it for your reading. I don't know why, but let's go. We have a Fool, group number 2, which is a really, really interesting card. I really like it. So it's also really funny. But basically, it talks about thinking outside of the box. You know, I feel like group number 2, you're too stuck up. I mean, that's just what I'm getting. You know, you're too stuck up. You know, in your own mindset, like you're so stuck, you're so caged, but you don't even see any way out. You don't see any window of opening or light at the end of the tunnel. You know, but the thing is that in your situation, the best you can do is just be as you are, accept how things are, and choose your own way. You don't have to play the game how others do. You can play the game in your own way. You can live your life however you want. Nothing is predefined. Just because people tell you how to live doesn't mean you have to. Simple. Just, you know, if you have to be a weirdo and love yourself for it. And there will be people who will love you for that too. That's just the truth, group number 2. You can accept it, or you can say, nah, I don't believe you. That's up to you. That's your life. Let's see. Group number 2. What else can we tell you? We have Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups. That's really nice. Yeah, so I definitely feel like you need a new, fresh approach towards life, group number 2. Like you really need a refreshment. You really need to get out of that box you have built for yourself, to, you know, keep yourself isolated, because there's a lot of isolation you have, you know, be it relationships, people, friendships, jobs, whatever it is, group number 2. But you really stuck up, like you're really stuck up, a lot of you, you know, like get out of that mindset. Like, life is so much more than what you're living in your head, you know, that's all just in your head, you know. Yeah, game is rigged, you know, things are the way they are, yeah, but that's not all there is to life, you know. There's other things, you know, and there's many other things you can do, and in many other ways, like countless ways. Basically, you have a full freedom. You can be whoever, whatever you want, in whatever way you want, you know. Have you considered that? Yeah, okay, cool. So we have the Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups, which talks about emotions, surprisingly, group number 2. So I feel like you're really blocked emotionally. I feel like apathy reaches not only your motivation towards life, but also kind of your feelings. So many of you might have issues with feeling or enjoying things. You know, you might be really emotionally blocked and for enjoying life. You know, it seems like whatever it comes to in life, you're just like really apathetic. You know, why would I even enjoy it? Like, they're gonna leave me anyway, or they're gonna betray me, or life is unfair, or why would I even try? You know, like, why do you do this to yourself? I mean, life can be a certain way, but that doesn't mean you don't get to enjoy it. It doesn't mean that even whatever you do, you cannot enjoy it, because you fully can, you know? How other people affect you and how those things affect you is all your decision, you know? You can be a weirdo isolated in a basement and you can still enjoy it. That just depends on your mindset, you know. Uh, Are you enjoying? Are you enjoying your life? So make sure that you approach life with a fresh new perspective, that you let yourself feel things, that you open yourself up. I heard a great advice lately that, you know, it's basically about opening your heart up to enjoying life, because so many of us are used to not enjoying life, but we don't even know how to enjoy life. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are things in your life that you know are good. There are things happening that are good, even small ones. Do you enjoy them? Do you take time to enjoy them, or are you like, oh, it will end anyway, why doesn't it happen more often? Or, you know, I cannot enjoy it anyway, so why even try, right? Like, cool life. So anyway, that's the thing you have to work on. I'm not gonna get too deep into it because it has to come from you. You have to make that decision. Either way, you need to start working on your emotions. That's the first step. Group number 2, working on your feelings, working on opening to life, especially with that Queen of Cups, which is like being passive but feeling your emotions. You know, just be however you want, but feel it. Feel your life. Feel the emotions you're having. Accept what you're having, what emotions you're having, because you're really apathetic right now. You're closed off, but be in like under that apathy, there's out of anger or resentment, you know, all that stuff that you just don't feel anymore, you know, because you have desensitized yourself from it, desensitized yourself from it. You get what I mean, right? Anyway, so yeah, you gotta start being more soft. I mean, I know it might sound pathetic or cringe, but that's just the way it is, you know. Like, deal with it, you know. You gotta start being more soft with yourself, with life, if you want to enjoy it, if you want to heal it. If not, that's cool, up to you. But yeah, there needs to be a new outlook on life, a new outlook on feelings, on pleasure, or enjoying things. And by pleasure, I mean enjoying simple things in life, you know, enjoying, you know, when you're having a nice cup of tea, or enjoying it when you're playing a nice game and you're enjoying it, or enjoying, you know, taking a shower or a warm bath or a sun in the morning, you know, up to you, whatever it is you have in your life. Enjoying the fact that there's roof over your head, or you have something to drink or to eat, you know. If it's cringe, yeah, okay, up to you. But if you want to try it, be my guest. It might be cool. You might enjoy it. And every time when you're having that and you want to expand on that feeling and you want to really heal it and you really want to start feeling things, then just say, you know, just really say to yourself, either out loud or in your head, you know, that is so cool, I'm so good, I'm feeling so nice, you know, like, just really enjoy it, just really like take it in, you know, take it in fully, you know. But be aware that with that there might be over darker emotions that might come, like that anger, that resentment, you know, those beliefs, oh, life's unfair, like I cannot enjoy anything, yada yada yada. I mean, you did it, okay? I mean, yeah, there were things that happened, but you did it. You did that belief to yourself. You have decided you're gonna live that way. You have decided that's your beliefs, that this is how you're gonna think from now on, and you have decided to give up, you know. So it's your doing. You have to undo it. Yeah, that's just that simple. Okay. So group number 2. Let me pull you out some oracle cards. So let's see, what do we need to know about your healing for group number 2? Ooh, yeah, perfect. Exactly. We have Tiferet, heart and beauty. Again, I don't care how cringe that sounds to you, but you gotta open your heart and really see the beauty around you, you know? Do it or don't, again, up to you. But there is beauty, there is things to enjoy in life, but no matter how much of it there's gonna be, you know, you're not gonna enjoy it. Simply, you're just simply not gonna enjoy it unless you open your heart up for it. You know, you could be living in a mansion and have $1,000,000 and a beautiful girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, to your side, and you can still be a sad piece of, you know, whatever. Because it doesn't matter, you know, because the moment you're gonna receive something good, you're gonna be like, nah, life is unfair, I don't deserve it. It's like, why would that be bad? Like, that's too good to be true. Like, there must be something wrong with them. and you're gonna simply sabotage your own enjoyment of life and good things you're getting. So, well, maybe you even can point out the situations in your life lately where that happened, or in last years, maybe you had opportunities, circumstances where something good might have happened or was happening, and you just, well, you sabotaged it. You said, hey, nah, it's not for me. Life isn't good to me. Life is unfair. Something must go wrong, right? Right? Like, that's what life is. Like, something else must go wrong. You don't deserve anything. You, like, right? So, yeah, it's time to start opening yourself up for beauty. Otherwise, you will never enjoy it. Simple. And yeah, uncomfortable things will come with it. Yeah. But if you're ready, you're ready. And then you can enjoy life, actually. And you can live or don't. Up to you. Right? So let me see. Some advice for group number 2. Some advice for group number 2. You know, what do we need to do about the healing? Okay, we have charity. Really interesting. Group number 2, charity. You know, giving something away from yourself, being open, because that's what charity is. It's being open, you know, maybe opening yourself up about your feelings, maybe opening up your, you know, enjoyment, because if you don't express it, how are you even supposed to enjoy anything, right? Group number 2, you if you enjoy something, express it. If you love someone, express it, you know, like you gotta give something out of yourself to be open, you know, and that might really help you with opening up also as well, you know, because if you open yourself up, you know, it's easier later on to feel that pleasure, to feel those things. So, you know, if you have someone you love and someone you really appreciate, you know, maybe you're living with someone who is important to you or that you love or you really appreciate, let them know about it, expand on that, you know, and, you know, even if it's not perfect, that might make it 100 times better in no time, you know. So yeah, give something out of yourself, you know, like, sure, maybe life doesn't seem too giving for you, but you can be giving, and in that way you can attract that energy to yourself too. Be giving. Doesn't have to be money, doesn't have to be anything specific. Can be time, can be energy, can be words, can be some kindness, or can be just opening up about your feelings, or just giving yourself in a way to the world or to people. You know, how can you give yourself today to people or to the world? How can you put yourself out there, you know, and show yourself and give yourself, you know, because if you're not out there, how can anything come to you to begin with, you know, if you're in a constant isolation, be it physical or emotional, and so on, you know. So that's what I have for you, group number 2. I feel like that was a really heavy reading and there was a lot of things already covered, so I feel like you need some time to digest it. I might in the future continue the series with doing trauma work and healing. So I really from the bottom of my heart wish you good luck on your journey, group number 2, and yeah, enjoy your stay on earth. You know, we might see each other, we might not again, but yeah, have a great day. Bye bye. Hello, my dear group number 3. This is your reading for your trauma, or, you know, call it whatever. But basically, let's get to it. So I'm gonna pick a card deck for you. Excuse me for my energy, but group number 2 was really heavy, so I'm still processing it. So let's go. Group number 3. Group number 3, you're giving me good vibes on the other hand, but let's see. We have, I'm gonna pick for you a shaman's dream. I'm gonna pick for you group number 3. Yes, we're gonna go with primordial tarot because I feel like this one really fits. Group number 3. Yeah, let's go with Edmund Dulac tarot. Beauty. And group number 3, let's go with, yeah, I'm gonna go with Rose Oracle for you because I feel like that fits as well. Okay, group number 3. I feel like you are kind beings, you know. I feel that from you. But let's see. Okay, let's see what does group number 3 needs to work on. What does group number 3 needs to work on? What is it we need to know about their healing journey for group number 3? Okay, we have the 8 of Wands. It talks about long-term things. So let's see how does that relate to you. Ooh, yeah, we have. Um, yeah, I think that's strength. Yeah, that's strength. Talks about confidence. Let's see. Group number 3. What do you need to work on? Oof. Okay. And we have a Knight of Cups. Sorry, the page. Okay, group number 3. I feel like a lot of your healing right now is surrounded about going for the long-term dreams and ambitions you have, about having confidence as well. I feel like a lot of those things is surrounded about your confidence, about your sense of self-esteem, about your self-love, about all those things, about believing in yourself, believing in your skills, believing, so I feel like you might have an issue right now with all the stuff, especially when it comes to your self-image, self-esteem, and so on and so on. But as well as figuring out where you're going in life, your path, your journey, maybe with understanding things, understanding yourself. But generally, the energy is good. I would say it goes into the exploration mode. So maybe group number 3 you already made so certain work on yourself or on your healing and so on and so on. But point being, right now, like a lot of your healing will come from your confidence and exploration and where you want to go long term. Now let's see, what do we need to know about group 3? I want to dig deeper into you. I want to dig deeper into group number 3. What is it we need to know about the healing, the trauma? What do we need to know for group number 3? Ooh, we have the Ace of Cups. Okay, we have Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is such a nice card. It talks about the core of you, core of your identity, core of where you're going in life, core of your drive, your passion, basically your feelings, also the core of your feelings, your authenticity. So I feel like that's where your main journey is going right now. Basically, your healing right now is about intuition and authenticity, being yourself, being simply doing what is best for you right now. So I would say group number 3, you might probably know it, but you're probably already on a good path. You're probably already an intuitive being. You're already probably looking into yourself. You probably already have an old look into what's going on in yourself. You're probably really empathetic also, being, so you probably already have an idea. So I would say, um, group number 3, it's really important that you just listen to your intuition. Simply, you don't need to listen to advices online. You don't need to go and read about self-development or this or that. I mean sure, do it, but what I'm saying is that, you have a lot of intuition already. You already know what is good for you, what is bad for you. You already know where your intuition is taking you. You have that intuitive insight about yourself, and that's a really, really important and valuable skill to have. So use it. Do it. Trust yourself, trust in your intuition, trust where you're going, because especially for those of you that are a little bit more healed already and you already looked into yourself a bit, you know um the more you keep going, the more personal that journey will be getting for you. Like, advices online will not be as personal for you anymore, because you did already healing to the point where you need to look a bit more personal, a bit more complex at yourself to see what is still left there. So I would say, most importantly, trust your intuition, trust about what you need, what you need to do for yourself. It's like intuitive dieting. Like, you just eat what your intuition is telling you to eat, what is best for you, the healthiest for you. So really, really go with that intuition, with that inner compass you have, because group number 3, I feel like you have that inner compass. I feel like you already might know where to go. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you already know where to go, or how to go there, vice versa, this or that, or both. But you have that inner sense. You're connected to your feelings, you're connected to how to do things. And even if you haven't yet started working on yourself as much, you have that power within you. You have that ability to work on yourself by yourself with intuition. You have that ability of insight into yourself. But I feel like a lot about this reading is just telling you, trust yourself, believe in yourself. You have the capability of doing this. You have that power inside of yourself. You already unlocked it in some way. It's already there, available for you. You have to just have the bravery and the confidence to just go and take it, just go and grab it. It's yours. Group number 3 is yours. Just go and take it. It's that simple. Let's see, what else do we need to know about group number 3? What do we need to know? What does group number 3 need to know? Ooh, okay. We have animal of soul, of cups, okay? So it talks about knowing your enemy, you know? So group number 3, I have a feeling that some of you or most of you already got in touch with like your darker side. You know, you did some journaling, some inner work. Like you already have had an encounter with what's like darker or what needs work in you. You know, for most of you, you already know your enemy. You know what you need to work on. You just know group number 3. Or for some of you, group number 3, you have to think about, you know, what it is, what's your real enemy, you know, what is it in yourself that you need to work on. And I promise it to you, group number 3, it's in plain sight. You already dealt with it. You know what it is. It's not hidden. You've dealt with it. You just need to open your eyes to it. Take your blindfolds off and be like, yeah, okay, that's my issue. I need to work on that, you know, because ignorance isn't bliss when it comes to inner work and trauma work. Ignorance isn't bliss, you know. So I bet you you already had an encounter with it. You just have to take your blindfolds off and be like, yes, I admit this is my issue. This is what I need to work on. With no judgment, with no blame on yourself. Just admit it. Yeah, I have to work on that. Maybe it is lack of belief in yourself. Maybe you do struggle a bit with self-confidence, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. Hey, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Maybe you do struggle with self-love, and that's also nothing to be ashamed of. It's a journey. You know, we are not perfect. Even when people love themselves, they can still have some issues with loving themselves in some areas, you know? So that's fine. No judgment. So, group number 3, find your enemy. Find out. But you probably already know. Just unleash it. Get to know it. Have a cup of tea with it, you know, with your shadow, with whatever. Be like, hey, nice to meet you. I love you, you know. How are you? What do you need? What are you trying to tell me? Yeah, have a cup of tea with it, you know, not a fight. Don't ignore it. Don't tell it go to the corner and sit there. Nah. Why? It's a part of you. It might have suffered, you know. That's not your fault. That's not its fault. Just ask why it's crying, why it's screaming, why it's not confident. Yeah, just do it. Okay, group number 3. So let me pull you a deck from this pristine, amazing card deck. Let me pull you a card, because this deck is for chosen ones, group number 3. And the fact that that was drawn for you is not a mistake. And from what I'm reading, it was not a mistake that I drew it for you, because it makes a lot of sense. I feel like some of you are really already connected to yourself, to your spirituality, to your, you know, cups, emotions, you know, water, soul. So, let's see. Group number 3. What do we need to know about group number 3? Healing. This is like such a beautiful card. It is, I love this card. It's just, it melts my heart. It's called the Heart Home. The Heart Home. This card just melts my heart. You know, this card is all about knowing that you're home, knowing that you're safe, that you are your home, that your life is your home. Open up your heart on that, you know, like this card is such a big calling to open up your heart and be safe with yourself and be your own safe zone and realize that you are being held in your life, and you are your support system. You are that thing for yourself, that you are your parent, you are your mother, father, you know, you hold yourself in your own heart, you know. This card is just freaking beautiful. Like, it's freaking beautiful. Like, I love this card. Heart Home. Compassion. It says compassion. It's about having compassion for yourself, first of all. You know, like, I feel like a lot of your healing right now, group number 3, comes from your own self-compassion. I mean, I I bet your ass, like, group number 3, that you've been compassionate. Like, you've been so freaking compassionate towards everyone, but at least to yourself. For some of you, group number 3, you know, give that compassion to yourself. Give that heart to yourself. You know, like, I bet you, if it was your friend or someone you love, you'd be like, oh my god, you're so great, you can do it, I believe in you, like, you are amazing, you can do anything you want. Girl, boy, Vaven, like, what about you? What about you? You're your best friend too. You're your lover. Say it to yourself. Say it to yourself. You deserve it. You deserve it. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Have compassion to yourself. Group number 3. Have compassion for yourself. Give yourself that love. Give yourself that safety. Realize that you're supported. That you just go and reach it. You know, just have a confidence to go and reach it. Reach your goals. You have all that potential. You had, like, dreams and passions for a very long time that you didn't have the confidence to fully unleash, you know, that you wanted to go somewhere, you know, there is that goal you have, but you keep questioning if you can, if you deserve it, if you're good enough, if, you know, not having, like, enough of courage. Just go and do it. But you can just go and do it. You're safe, you're good, go and do it. Unleash your potential. Like, you want those things, those are your dreams, go and get it, whatever it is, you know, manifestation, whatever, money, you know, passions, you know, hobbies, whatever, you know, you're passionate about it, you want it, you feel it, you have it inside of yourself. Just be like, yeah, I can have it. Why not? I can have it. Who says I cannot? Who says I cannot? Me? Yeah, perhaps that's the only person who says you cannot. Perhaps. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a really good point here. Anyway, let me pull you last card from this Rose Oracle, which is super sweet and super soft, because you know what? You deserve it. You deserve that softness, you know? I mean, everyone does, but especially you, group number 3. Yeah, right? I'm right? Just say I'm right. Just say yes. I deserve softness. I deserve love. I deserve peace, because I am peace, I am love, I am light, right? You are soft. So be soft to yourself, you know? Okay, let's see. Group number 3. What do we need to know about your healing? Group number 3. What does group number 3 need to know? What does group number 3 need to know? What does group number 3 needs to know? Oh, that's so beautiful. We have released the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. And I feel like, you know what, group number 3, I feel like it's all an inner transformation for you. You know, I feel like you deserve a soft, peaceful life. You deserve those passions. You deserve those manifestations. You know, you deserve it, you know, and you are softness, you know. If you're kind to people, if you were kind your whole life, if you were empathetic, if you were compassionate, you know, you have it always inside yourself. All it takes is just turn it around to internalize it and embody it fully, you know, embody it for yourself, you know. It's all about inner transformation, you know, choosing to basically let yourself die and you know, plant seed in yourself so that you can grow out of that old version and feed of it in a way, you know. I mean, I know it might sound really bizarre, like hold on, I know it sounds bizarre, but I have a point, okay? And the point is that you need to shred that old version and grow from it, you know, like take all that old version teached you and grow from it into someone new, someone beautiful, someone that you already are. Let me pull out another card for you because I feel like it. So, group number 3. And we have the sacred waters. Nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care, because, you know what? Yeah, you know it already. You deserve it. Yeah, you do. You do. Yeah, I know you know. Okay, so it's really interesting. So because I already had like a word of nourishment in my head when I was reading this card. So that's what I meant with like, you know, growing out of your old version, because it's like your nourishment. Like you are growing out of that old nourishment. It gives you nutrients, you know, in a way. So it's like again about shredding. And I feel like you can transform through resting, you know, through letting yourself be, where you basically take that mask off and you stop playing that person for a bit, and you just let yourself purge. You just let yourself purge and grow into something new, you know. But for that you need the rest, you know. You need this time of, you know, breathe in and exhale, you know, so you can exhale that version and you can, you know, give yourself something to work with that new version. So yeah, I feel like rest will really do you good because you deserve it, you know, be it emotional, mental, in life, whatever. Just have fun, be kind to yourself, enjoy your presence, enjoy your own love, you know. So I feel like, yeah, this pretty much sums it up, group number 3. So I feel like that's a lot for today, so I hope you will take your time to digest it. So group number 3, thank you so much for watching. We might see each other again, we might not, but doesn't matter. So have a nice day, most importantly, and I wish you good luck on your journey. Enjoy your stay on Earth, and yeah, see ya. Bye bye. Hello, my group number 4. You are the last group today, and so let me pick decks for you, because for every group I pick individual decks. Okay, so group number 4, we're gonna get for you the Nicola Scully. Oof, we're gonna get for you the Murder of Crows Tarot. That's gonna be rough. I feel like you, group number 4, are sensitive beings, you know? I might be wrong, are you? But we're gonna see. Anyway, group number 4, let's see. What else do we have for you? Ooh, yeah, we're gonna get you fairies oracle. And we're gonna get you the vintage wisdom oracle. I feel like it resonates with you, you know? So first of all, I have like a whole mess here because after all the piles, like I have cards everywhere and different decks and everything is just like a bit messy, you know? So let's see. Let me pull out first. Oof. I already feel scared about this Murder of Crows because it's always so honest, you know, so I feel like I hope it doesn't treat you too harshly. Okay, but let's go. Let's start with Vintage Wisdom Oracle for group number 4. Oof. We have patience. Okay, group number 4. So you're learning patience right now. I feel like you have to give yourself some patience, because if you're trying to heal in a hurry, oof, not good, group number 4. You don't want to be all like, oh, I have to heal right now, I have to be good right now, I have to be this and that, I have to fix myself. Nah, girl, boy, you know, like, baby, you know, that's not how you heal. That's how you put pressure on yourself and be a perfectionist, you know. Be kind to yourself. Watch less Pinterest boards with perfect clean girls or whatever. Less motivation and all that crap, you know. You don't need that. That's not what healing is. That's not just another productivity task on your list. Yeah, to be like better. You're not actually bettering yourself, you know. Whatever is your form of healing or self-care and being better, that's not self-care, that's not self-love, you know. That's just another way to be productive and perfect. So group number 4. I feel like group number 4, there's a lot of young people. Group number 4, there's a lot of young people, maybe teenagers even. Group number 4. Or generally people with like young personalities, or, you know, people who use social media a lot. How can group number 4 heal? What is there to heal for group number 4? What do we need to know? Okay. And we have a strength and union. Really, really interesting. Okay, group number 4, first of all, you need to find a relationship with yourself. I feel like group number 4, many of you might not have a strong relationship you have with yourself. Maybe you don't know yourself enough yet. Maybe you're really disconnected from yourself. Maybe you're living from full-on trauma mode. Maybe you're in a survival mode. That speaks to me about people who aren't as connected to themselves, and that's what I feel is missing here a lot for group number 4. It's like knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing where you're going. You I feel like a lot of you, group number 4, you haven't yet built like your inner strength. You haven't yet found your point of strength and point of gravity in yourself. I feel like you are the people who get influenced easily, who you maybe, that's why I was saying social media. Maybe you're influenced a lot by social media, by culture, by your family's, upbringing, like all those beliefs you still have from your parents. Maybe you have some beliefs about yourself, like especially with patience. I mean, there's literally a child on it, that is literally like almost, like it could look like it's crying, right? But it literally has wings, it literally has wings. I feel like, again, group number 4, you seem to me like very sensitive people, very like emotionally, I would say, vulnerable people, where it's easy for you to get wrapped up in over people maybe affecting your feelings, or content influencing you in a way, so you really have to watch out for it, especially if you're a young person. Like it might be harder for young people to understand what I mean, but if you're a younger person, like in your teenage years, or you're an old, like young adult, but it might be really hard for you to develop that self-awareness at this point, but I can like guide you a bit into it. So it's really important that you start like thinking of yourself objectively and realize that you're not your story, you're not your thoughts, you're not your beliefs, you're not your family, that you're your own person, and to start finding that gravity point in yourself, that you're your own person. You decide for yourself. You make your own decisions. You make your own life. You have to decide how you're talking to yourself, how other people talk to you, and having boundaries also, and don't let other people or yourself cut your wings, because you have a lot of potential. I feel like there's still a lot in front of you in the future. So just be aware of that, be aware of that, be aware of your feelings, because I feel like maybe especially in your family there are people that maybe affect you emotionally in some way, or wanna I wouldn't want to go into that direction, but maybe there are certain people in your life that can overuse your emotional sensitivity and like influence you in this or that direction, so I would just be very aware of that. For some of you, again, I'm not making conspiracy theories, it's just something to be aware of, especially when you're such a sensitive person or such a vulnerable person in that sense, so yeah, I feel like it's all about finding that union in yourself and finding that strength within yourself for many of you, group number 4, And again, you don't have to be a young person for this reading, but basically find yourself, find a connection with yourself, start building a relationship with yourself, because that's gonna give you a lot of strength, where you don't have to codepend on all over people, and you don't have to trust over people and everything they say. You gotta know yourself, so that other people cannot tell you who you are or what you have to do, or what you should do. You have to know better for yourself. Okay. Oof. I feel like Nicola Tesacoli, honestly. I've chosen your decks, but I've this deck really called me right now, so I will pull you like 1 or 2 cards from it for group number 4. What do we need to know for group number 4? I'm getting a lot of Virgos for some reason, like maybe group number 4 versus Virgos or Cancers. I don't usually say zodiac signs, but I just felt like it, So group number 4. Ooh, interesting. So we have the 9 of Swords and we have the 10 of Coins. Interesting. Okay, so this is really interesting because 9 of Swords is all about living in fear, and that 10 of Coins is like that. Like that girl is literally getting out of that wheel. She's like, I'm out of it. I'm out of it. I'm out of that. I'm not playing that game anymore. I'm going out and being free, you know. So group number 4, I feel like for you a lot of this is based on the fact that you need to break free from your fears, you know. Group number 4, I feel like you're a really sensitive person, you know. A lot of you, group number 4, you are really sensitive, you are easily influenced. Maybe you're also really, you know, like a bit fearful, you know. Maybe you're a bit unconfident about yourself. Maybe you're like you know, all over the world in front of me, around me, you know, it's gonna eat me, you know, whatever, you know, I don't know who to trust, I don't know who I am, you know, type of energy. But you gotta basically break out of a hamster wheel, you know. You gotta get out of that, because you are living a lot in that childlike state of mind, you know, where you know, you gotta be taken care of, your parents gotta tell you what to do. Maybe you're really codependent on other people's opinion, you know. Maybe you codepend a lot on what people think or do towards you. Maybe if someone hurts you, like, oh yeah, I'm probably not worth it, I'm probably just not good enough, you know, maybe I deserved it. Or you know, you listen a lot to what other people tell you, you know, like what you should do, or you know, what you shouldn't do, and so on and so on. It's about finding your own point of gravity in yourself. It's about knowing who you are again, so people don't get to tell you what you do, because you have to find yourself. Because for me right now, you're kind of like playing the game of other people and the world around you, you know, and you're like squeezed in, and you kind of do what you think you should do, you know. And it's kind of like a game of fear, you know. It's a game of fear of making the right decision, making the right steps. Maybe it's related a lot to your trauma, especially if you had like more traumatic things happen in your life. Maybe if you had a certain family dynamic in your life that has really caused you to be in a certain mindset, or in a certain state as a person. Maybe not believe in yourself, maybe not even see yourself as a person. Maybe group number 4, you were raised as a people pleaser, you know, where you have to please other people, where you have to all the time listen to other people, where other people's opinions, feelings, and wants matter way more for you than your own. Or maybe you don't even realize that you have your own, you know. So that's the vibe I'm getting from group number 4. So basically, your journey right now, group number 4, again, it's gonna be a while, you know. Like, healing doesn't happen like from day to day. It's not either. So group number 4, if you really want to heal, you know, if you really want to, you know, get to it, then remember that it's gonna take some patience again, because you're kind of like, you know, still going into it, you know. You're still kind of fresh to it, at least a lot of you, I feel like. So you know, just start working on it. Start working on developing your own sense of self. Start, you know, listening to yourself rather than other people. Ask yourself, why does other people opinion matter so much, and where is your opinion? Where's your opinion? You know, do you even have an opinion? Because yes, you should have your own opinion. You should have an opinion about your life. You should have an opinion about yourself, and you do have a say. In fact, yours is the only say that matters, you know. So start working on that. Start looking at that. Where are you as a person? Who are you? You know, start asking yourself. Because even if you think that you're yourself, even when you think that you you know, you're your own person, it might not be always the case. Sometimes we just do it out of ignorance and say, yeah, I'm happy with myself, yeah, I love myself, of course I love myself, yeah, of course I have my own opinion, yeah, but do you really? Because I feel like you kind of feel it when you're your own person, you know. Like you just feel it, you know. So if you cannot say like for sure 100% that you're your own person, but you're probably not, you know, and you're still a bit affected by other people. But let me give you some hard advice. This is usually a very, very straightforward deck. So group number 4, what do you need to hear? Like, what is something group number 4 needs to hear, you know? Like, what is something that they just need to hear? Oof, okay, so group number 4, we have 5 of Wands and 2 of Wands. So ones that are all about action, about doing, about, you know, embodying something, you know. And I feel like that's maybe what is not balanced in your life currently, like in yourself. Group number 4, maybe you have an issue with action and taking action on things. We have 2 of Wands, which is like, you know, it's like waiting. This is like a card of waiting, you know. So maybe group number 4, maybe you wait too much on things. Maybe you wait too much on you know, opinion of other people's. Maybe you put too much value on what people will think. Also group number 4, there might be a fear in you where you're too scared of what people will think of you, of what you do, and that's why you think a lot about opinions of other people. Maybe that's why you need desperately to know what you should do of other people, because you don't have that sense of self. Maybe you're too scared of judgment, you're too scared of being something that isn't accepted by all the people possible. You just gotta fit in, which again, no judgment, group number 4, no judgment at all. Like, that's just how humans are. Like, we need to fit in, we want to fit in, because otherwise, how will we survive, yada yada yada, especially in families, when we don't fit in, when we aren't accepted. How will we survive? How will we keep on living? Because we gotta survive somehow, be taken care of, especially as child. So group number 4, you're really, your healing from now on is all about to stop waiting and stop depending all you do and all you think and how you are and how you look like on other people and their opinion. It does not matter. It truly does not matter what other people's opinion is. It does not matter. It only matters if it matters to you. Does it matter for you? Are you scared of what other people think? Are you scared of how they perceive you? Are you scared if they think that you're doing something weird or not correct? Like, yeah, it's easy to just straight up say, no, of course I'm not. Yeah, but are you though? Are you really? Be honest with yourself, because be really honest with yourself. We have 5 of Wands, which talks about how things can be done in a different way than they have to be. Like, basically, I feel like you're basically making your life way more challenging, and especially when you put so much weight and value onto what other people think, it really limits you a lot. And I feel like you're creating so much conflict in yourself, especially of what other people think, especially if one person says one thing and the other person says another thing, and so on and so on. I feel like you're really making things really challenging for yourself, and I feel like you have a lot of overthinking issue, and there's a lot of mess in your head, basically, like a lot of house, like just as there is right now on my table, honestly. Like, you almost cannot see yourself through all of this. Like, you pay so much attention to your fears and other people, that you miss out on yourself completely. It's like you stop existing next to other people. It's like other people and their opinions completely overshadow your own existence. That's the feeling I'm getting. And yeah, it's just about getting out of the hamster wheel. It's about getting out of your mind, getting out of the overthinking mode, and that's when you're gonna really stop having that whole internal conflict you have with yourself, especially with overthinking. Stop waiting around. Stop waiting around. Stop waiting to hear what other people think. Stop expecting people's opinions and judgments and blah 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 blah. Like, that's so pointless. That's such a waste of life. That's such a waste of your emotions. Such a waste of your mind. Such a waste of you. Group number 4, like I'm getting almost angry right now. Like, group number 4, like this just screams. This deck is just being like, dude, girl, like, wake up. What are you even doing? What are you doing? Like, you're not even living. Like, what is it you're doing? Get out of that mode. That's not living. It's like you're paralyzed. It's like you're just standing around, and it's like literally the definition of that. It's like you're standing around, but this is your mind. Like, you're standing around not doing anything, and then your mind is like a whole house. It's like a house. You're just standing there being like in a panic mode, like, where do I go? What do I do? What will people think? Is someone looking at me? Group number